Welcome to CPG Vibes. No script, just chat. We talk all things food and beverage and so much more. Feel our vibe and search for CPG Vibes on Apple Podcast or Spotify, and make sure to give us a 5-star review. If you'd like to sponsor our show with your product or service or be a guest, email us at cpgvibes100@gmail.com. Now your hosts, me, Alex Bear with Genius Juice, and Wade Yenny. All right, welcome to episode 77 of CPG Vibes. We are loud here. We got the freaking purple shirt. We got the green shirt over here coming in full color here because honestly, our guest has a lot of passion, a lot of color. He's bringing it to the show. So we're dressing up in celebration of bringing this guy on. Wade, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to it.
This is our version of dressing up, which is still a t-shirt, but at least it has color to it. So
right on.
That's us trying for everyone, just to clarify. So yeah, if you'd like to be a sponsor on our show, make sure to email cpgvibes100@gmail.com. Same thing if you like to be a guest, even though we are booked out pretty much for the year. And then also a big thing just to check off on the laundry list item is to subscribe to our show, CPG Vibes, on Apple Podcast. We have 110 ratings. We've been top rated in every country except North America, it seems. We've been Canada. Actually, we got Canada. We got Netherlands. We got New Zealand. And I think we got somewhere in Africa, like those three areas. So we're really big in every country except the US. You know, we're like
it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress.
Exactly. It's like soccer. It's kind of popular here, but very popular worldwide. All right. Well, without further ado, I guess, because we have him for, at this point, 25 minutes. We're going to have comments here. By the way, if you have comments, you want to shout them out, we'll read them throughout the episode. And then also, if you have questions for our guest, make sure to comment as well, because he'll be answering live. This is live and not taped, just for those that didn't pick up on that. All right. So without further ado, let's get some music here. Let's see. I'm just going to go for this one. I like this one a lot. It's a good one. All right. We have David Meltzer. David, how are you?
Fantastic. Thanks for having me. And I'm glad I wore a colored t-shirt so I fit into the vibe.
Exactly.
It's kind of like a blend. If you mash green and purple together, we get your shirt, David. So that's fantastic.
Awesome.
We didn't plan that. Believe it or not, we didn't plan that. Is that like yellow and blue made green or something like that? We're close. We're close.
Exactly. Nothing's ever planned on the show at all. We don't know what the hell we're doing. That's why we're bringing you on, because you have a lot of experience with podcasting. We need to elevate the show, and we want to hear your story as well. So yeah, let's get right into it, because I know we have limited time. Number one, you're in LA, right?
In Southern California. I'm currently in Orange County, but offices at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles and a home in San Diego as well. So I have it all covered down here in the southern part of California.
Yep, definitely SoCal based. I'm born and raised, as you know, because we met up in person, born and raised in Southern California as well. And that was actually my first time when I visited your office and your team, the first time I've ever stepped foot in SoFi Stadium. This to tell you, the last time I was in that area was when it was being built. So it's been a while since I was there.
It's a great place and transforming every day. Now that we also have a new basketball arena coming in, it's incredible.
Yeah. What are they calling that? Do they have a name for it yet?
Oh, they do, but you're putting me on the spot. I'm sure it has to do with Rocket Mortgage or something along that lines.
Yeah, they've been sponsoring everything else lately, right? Like golf. So I'm sure they're sponsoring basketball as well. I wish I bought property in Inglewood before SoFi was built. I've heard the property values are just like skyrocketed there, right?
Yeah, and they did the same thing downtown in San Diego with Petco, and I was blessed to be smart enough to actually buy properties down there before the stadium came in, and then they delayed it because there was manipulation of people buying properties before it went in with Peregrine, and I was panicking, but it all worked out fine with one of the best baseball stadiums as well in San Diego.
Nice.
That's beautiful.
Very cool. Very cool. So there's a hell of a story here. You know, I mean, we have heavily a CPG type crowd here on our show, hence the name CPG Vibes. But, you know, when you Google your name and you have to Google David Meltzer, right? Not David Meltzer.
Right.
To get the full story, or you're going to see something about a wrestler, which is not, you may wrestle, but you're not a professional wrestler.
No.
I don't take it. But you are a professional in what you do as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, operating businesses, investing, advising. Hell of a story about there was a rise and fall, then a rise again. We'd love to hear that, just to catch everyone up here on your full story.
Yeah, sure. I call it the tale of three worlds. I was born into the world of not enough, like many people, a single mom, 6 kids, 5 boys and a girl. My mom was extraordinary. Not only did she raise us all to be passionate, purposeful, and profitable, but extremely educated. So my mom's philosophy of the fetus not being fully developed till after graduate school held true, as my siblings all ended up at Harvard, Penn, and Columbia and graduated summa cum laude as well. But beyond being a great educator, she was an amazing mom when it came to illustrating work ethic. She worked 2 jobs, second grade teacher, came home, packed our dinner into a paper bag, drove us around filling up turnstiles with greeting cards at convenience stores in the 70s, making us talk and read to each other and learn from each other while she was driving us around in the country squire station wagon that she could barely afford. But at that time, in the world of not enough, my only struggles were economic. I had this extraordinary family full of love, full of health, full of joy. But when the car broke down or the dishwasher, or we didn't have money for summer camp, I would catch my mom crying, which put a seed in my mind that it must be money that would buy me complete happiness, love, and joy. If I could only be rich and buy my mom a house and a car that worked, my life would be complete. And that aspiration led me to the world of just enough. 9 months out of law school, I was a millionaire. 2.5 years later, we sold the company for $3.4 billion to Thomson Reuters and moved myself into the Silicon Valley, learning how to be a technology investor, guru, and executive, raising hundreds of millions of dollars throughout the 90s. Ended up in 1999 at the pinnacle of my arrogance, running Samsung's phone division, married to my dream girl, worth over $100 million. And then things weren't already good enough. I ended up transitioning from Samsung's phone division to running the most notable sports agency in the world. So not only was I super rich with a beautiful family, health, joy, but I was blessed to have access to things that billionaires could not afford. I had gotten a job for Lee Steinberg Sports Entertainment. They made the movie Jerry Maguire about our firm. And so I was living in what I call the world of just enough for me, a glamorized stuck where everybody wished they were me, except for me. For the first time in my life, I wasn't happy. And like most people that aren't happy, they find things, usually artificial, self-destructive things, to determine or put into context what happiness is. So I surrounded myself with the wrong people and the wrong ideas. I did the wrong things, even though I had everything I ever dreamed of and more. I mean, I own properties and golf courses and ski mountains and jets and boats and cars and, you know, all types of things that should have provided me a life, the rest of my life and my family's life, with that type of elegance. And all I got was misery. And that glamorized stuck ended up with me almost losing my life, almost losing my wife, which probably would have been worse, and definitely losing all my money. So I lost over $100 million. And now looking back 15 years, probably the best thing that ever happened to me, because it forced me to not only have gratitude for my past and present, but to have gratitude for my future. And that I define as faith. I am a faith-based person, not necessarily just in a religious, philosophical, spiritual, or theoretical realm, but I simply believe that I'm being protected and promoted by an omniscient, all-powerful, all-knowing source. I live in a world now today, the third world, of more than enough. And that paradigm shift of not wanting more, not buying things I don't need to impress people I don't like, not being a victim, things happening to me, but simply having a value add perspective of more than enough of everything for everyone, where I'm promoted and protected at all times, has allowed me not only to make more money, help more people, but have more fun, happiness, joy, harmony, and ease in my life than ever. And now I'm on a mission to teach people those values, practices, and the execution model in order to do it themselves and teach other people to do it as well.
I mean, it's man, in 3 or 4 minutes, you really summed up so much there about your past life. And in meeting you, right, and really hearing how you like to help others, I would have never thought that there was that side of your personality before 15 or 20 years ago, and how you went through that. So what would be your advice for entrepreneurs, right, that let's put on the other side, that are struggling, because a lot of people are struggling right now, going through hardships, don't have enough money, stressing every day. Like, what do you do to get yourself through those days and see the bigger picture? What's your advice to them?
Well, I first would say, first of all, everyone struggles. It's practicing how we deal with those struggles. I have a minutes and moments strategy that I utilized with the struggles that occurred every day. And there's 4 steps that I teach entrepreneurs when it comes to struggle. One, let's identify the inherent fear in a struggle. See, there's only 2 types of fear. There's either fear of the past, which usually results in some sort of resentment or guilt, or there's fear of the future, which is an anxiety based, worried based fear. And so, what I try to help entrepreneurs, and I help millions of entrepreneurs, I have free trainings and groups and all types of different free books, exercises, and guides. And it's all in this foundational principle of practicing, identifying the fear, and then instead of resisting it, like most entrepreneurs would like to do, going over it, under it, through it, around it, lying to it, manipulating, cheating it, and denying it. Instead, what I teach is, after we identify the fear of the past or fear of the future, let's see what natural human nature, ego-based consciousness am I applying or prescribing to that fear. Do I have a need to be right, or a need to be offended, a need to be separate, a need to be inferior or superior? Do I have a need to be angry, frustrated, guilty, resentful, worried, anxious, whatever it may be? And when I can utilize the fear by identifying which ego-based consciousness I'm prescribing for it, it then allows me to, instead of resist it, to stop, to breathe through my nose, out through my mouth, and remember, and recollect to the whole, to the holy, to the inspired, to the omniscient, all-powerful, all-knowing source that's protecting and promoting me. And therefore, as I take out the dis-ease in my life by identifying that dis-ease, the fear and the ego, and allowing myself to roll in that trajectory in which I started the day, roll in the trajectory of where I think I want to be or better today, by giving meaning to that fear, giving meaning to the defining moments, setbacks, failures, mistakes, void, shortages, and obstacles of my past, or even successes, and align that meaning with where I want to be. You see, when you are in fear as an entrepreneur, your mind, your body, and soul are at dis-ease. They're on fire. What do you do when you're in fire? You stop, you drop, and you roll. And that's what I teach people to do, entrepreneurs, as well as seasoned, successful people. I am blessed to coach chairmen of huge Fortune 110 companies, and they struggle every day, and they still utilize the same mechanism. They're just more well-rehearsed in practice. Quit spending days, weeks, months, and years interfering with what you already have. Spend minutes and moments. Realize you're happy, healthy, wealthy, and worthy already. Let's figure out what you're doing to interfere with it. FEAR.
Got it. So it seems to me it's like, comes from a place, I've seen this in your podcasts and also books. And by the way, the playbook with David Meltzer, right? The Apple podcast, make sure to go on there, give him 5 stars, listen to it, subscribe, right? That it's gratitude. It's like feeling really grateful for what we have, instead of chasing something that we want next. It's like right here and now, very grateful. And what I've learned is, when you're grateful for what's right now, great things just come to you through hard work. and also loving what you do and loving the journey. So it's really good advice.
Thank you. And if you love what you do, it'll tell you all its secrets. So when things tell you their secrets, their cheat codes, they get easier and easier. And the best cheat code to your future is gratitude.
Exactly. Let's I want to turn it to the CPG side, because Wade, I know, and so Wade, and you have a house in San Diego. Did you ever shop at Jimbo's?
Of course.
Right on.
So Wade, he was one of the head honchos there, right below Jimbo himself.
Right below Jimbo. Yeah, exactly. It was a hop, skip, and a jump away, right?
My wife's family owned Hub Liquor there in Pacific Beach as well. So you may remember that place.
Yeah, my daughter actually still lives in Pacific Beach. So that's great. That's great. I love it.
That's awesome.
So Wade, so the CPG side, I'm flipping it over to you, and I'll get it at least kick-started. David gets involved in CPG brands. Wade has been in the CPG business, not to date him, but longer than me. I'll just say a couple years longer than me, right? Maybe double digits, but I won't disclose that on this episode. I'm under contract not to disclose his age. So CPG wise, David, you're involved in brands like, Riot Energy, right? I'm really good friends with Laura and Steve. You got other brands also. Yep. It's the double thumbs up there.
Tons of them. Midday Squares.
You're involved in Midday Squares as well.
I'm on the board of Midday Squares as well.
No way.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. So those young kids are some of my favorite Canadians I've ever met.
Awesome. So that's Midday Squares. They're all over, as you know, all over LinkedIn. Jake has been on this podcast, I think, like 3 times. Always brings the energy and dances a lot. He likes to end it with a dance. So tell us more about like what got you into CPG, how you discovered these brands. Was it happenstance? Like how'd you guys cross paths?
Well, I'm blessed. My younger brother, who Jim may know, he's been a CPG guy, went to Wharton, went to the University of School of Economics for an MBA, and also to Columbia for an MBA, adhering to my mom's philosophy, of course. But he started with Bristol Myers and moved on into the CPG space. He did the Energizer merger with Playtex, and he ended up president of the popcorn and butter company there in San Diego. Well, they weren't in San Diego; they were in Colorado.
Angie's Chicken Pop. What is it?
Yeah, no, it was no. This was a CPG product. Anyway, so my brother's been in the CPG space. Had a huge exit. And I'm just drawing a blank. So I have so many companies, but through advising him as he had graduated college, and I'm 5 years older, and he was in the CPG space, I learned a lot about after his first exit, consulting for CPG companies, and he was inundated with a variety of Smart Balance was the name of the company. Smart Balance.
Yeah, the butter.
So after Smart Balance, he was just inundated with opportunities, and he would use me to help distribute some of those opportunities. And I started catching on that, hey, maybe I could actually help some of these companies. So I started going to the Expo Wests and shows like that. And there was a natural fit because of the pragmatic nature of the business. Marketing was very similar to what I knew, distribution, relationship capital, but where I really started was my fundraising. And in fact, to your benefit, Ryan Pineda, who's a big influencer in real estate, he texted me first thing. He's like, you got to get over there. You got to make sure we want to invest in this company. So we were blown away by the genius of the genius, and the genius juice is on our scope here, Ryan Pineda and I. So, now we are inundated, like my brother, with opportunities in the space, and we vet them very carefully by the entrepreneur first, and then by the product, and making sure, especially today, when literally, you both know this, there is literally plant-based everything. I was going around Expo West asking, where's the chicken-based chicken? Because I didn't see any of that anymore. It's like, Are you kidding me? So you have to really do your due diligence, not just on the entrepreneur anymore, but the ingredients. And I will say that our genius juice passes both tests for Ryan and I, of the right entrepreneur and the right ingredients, the real products, not the fake ones that so many people utilize marketing for.
That's a good segue, David, to what I kind of want to ask you about is as far as vetting individuals and products, what characteristics or qualities are you looking for in your entrepreneurs and or the products that they bring in?
The first thing I look for in an entrepreneur is a desire that they must be what they can be, because you can't coach that. And that's the determining factor of success. An entrepreneur is going to figure it out if they have the desire that they must be what they can be, and they're going to do everything possible to be successful. Then I look for gratitude, forgiveness, accountability, and inspiration. So you put up the midday squares, Jake and his family, they reek of that. They are the most inspired young people who are grateful, forgiving, and accountable. And so those are the characteristics of the entrepreneur. Then as far as vetting the company, look, it's math to me, and it's asking uncomfortable questions. Trust to me means that I trust you enough that you are going to still remain a friend of mine at the very least if I ask you very, very difficult, uncomfortable questions. To me, that's a form of trust. We only, we ask our moms really personal, hard questions, uncomfortable questions. Why? Because we have trust. Yet so many people think that trust means I don't ask you uncomfortable questions, and then I blame you for a miscommunication, a manipulation, or a lie later on because I didn't ask the uncomfortable questions, even though I thought it was what you were saying was either being misinterpreted or not true. And then we blame the person because we were too afraid. So those two things alone, you will be so statistically successful in investing if you look for the entrepreneur that has those qualities and you ask uncomfortable, hard questions. Statistically, you're going to be extremely successful in investing.
Yeah, that's really what I see with any successful mentor, mentee, investor, company, right? Founder, funder, is being really honest. And, you have the good, the successes, right? And the high fives and everything feels good. But there's a tremendous amount of struggle and ups and downs. It's a roller coaster effect. Any business that you run, especially, with CPG. So I found that the most successful relationships are just being super real with each other. And it's okay to get emotional. It's okay to get really passionate because you both care so much about reaching that common goal. So I think it's great. I think, and also I just looked up in my email, there's a one-on-one thing. You actually, and what's cool is I got to mention this. David personally reaches out to his brands and potential brands. So after I met him at SoFi Stadium and he tried Genius, for the last year, we've been back and forth on emails. And he said, are you ready to join this one-on-one? Come on, man. I'm ready to help. And I love your product. I love the mission. So I will say that personal touch and care, being genuine, is really important. And that's why you have great brands working with you, because they know you actually care. You're not just looking at a paycheck at the end of the day or an exit.
No. And one of the funny things is especially in all consultants or coaches or mentors, I always guarantee everything. I think it's so funny. It's why did so many of these people lock you into things, and they're too afraid to take a performance-based equity, and yet they'll tell you how much they believe in you and how much they can help you. That to me is BS. I've done everything either for free or month to month and guaranteed. And if I do anything that just has a nominal fee to it so that I know you show up, I always have the caveat, look, if you get into any financial difficulty, you're $47 for the last 2 years, I'll give it all back to you. I don't want to put this, me helping you is not to put you in a worse position. It's to guarantee your success. And if I'm as good as I think I am, I should be able to guarantee that. And it's the same thing as you stated with being someone who is raising money, for example. Some people rose color everything so much, you ask yourself at the end, why are you raising money? Because it sure seems like you got enough of everything and you're so successful. What do you need me for? Why would you? And I love people who illuminate, look, here's what's going well, and here's where I need some help, and here's what's not going well. Can you help me? And provide a quantitative articulated value to exceed what you're going to ask for to do that help. That's the math that I put to these equations.
Yeah. And I got to mention too, and something, Wade, you might have a question as well, because we have a couple minutes here. David has a hard stop here at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But, being really real about what is really challenging to your brand or to your company. And I got to shout out, again, Jake, where they're just like, this is fucking hard, like doing your own manufacturing. And you've seen his Instagram and TikTok videos. I mean, they're crying, in some of these videos, and they're showing that like this is really tough and we need people's help to actually make this happen. We need the right advisors around us. And I think it's a major turnoff, and you see this like I do, David, on LinkedIn, where, and again, I don't like to judge, but I just tell like I see it, where people are pumping up everything going well, when in fact, behind the scenes, it's not going well. And and when you're more real with what's not going well, you're less naive, less oblivious as an entrepreneur to really focus on how can I improve? Because you're only as good as your biggest weakness, right? In my opinion.
That's so smart. There's a football analogy, right? We're only as good as the weakest player. And that's an exact analogous situation to that. I think I got time for one quick question.
Well, I was just going to give you a chance to tell our audience a little bit about the playbook and what it's a daily podcast. And I got the website up here, but just a little bit about the premise and what you're trying to do with that media.
Yeah, basically getting billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, and entertainers to give their playbook to success. Over 1,500 episodes. We actually do about 10 a week because we have a sports and entertainment edition and an entrepreneurial edition, but all under the same premise of extracting the secret sauce, the dummy tax, the situational knowledge of the spirits of excellence. So we've had everyone from Cameron Diaz to Deepak Chopra, Sadhguru, Tillman Fertitta, Steve, just anyone in the who's who in business, sports, entertainment, all giving their secrets to success, but also being vulnerable and giving, the dummy tax that they've paid so that they can save you the most expensive tax in America. It's not California, fellas. It's not federal government. It's dummy tax. I paid over $100 million in it, and I don't want other people to have to.
Love it.
Exactly. Well said. We know you need to go. It's a hard stop, but David, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate all your wisdom, brother, and we'll see you soon.
Well, please reach out. We're interested in investing in your company and for your community. If you'd like a book, I will sign a book, send it to you, pay for the shipping and the book. David@dmeltzer.com. Put in the notes for this community. Wow. David@dmeltzer.com. I want to empower others to empower others. Invite me back on, guys. Come on some of my shows. And hopefully next time you see me, I'll be an investor in Genius Juice with Ryan Pineda.
Love it. Love it. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Take good care. All right. So that was a whirlwind of knowledge and story and emotions. And I love the nice touch at the end where he's like, Genius Juice. I mean, man, that feels that feels good.
We could just drop the mic and be done now, Alex. I think
that's
done
it.
I was going to say that's the show. That's
End
it.
on top. The more that at least I talk, usually it starts to go more downhill. So, ending on a good note may be a wise decision. Hold them or fold them, right?
That's
all
right.
That stuff.
That's right.
But we do have a service, a fiduciary duty, right, to our CPG Vibes community to continue this all the way to 3:30, 6:30 your time, dinner time. So we're going to keep this train rolling, even though David had to hop off for another meeting. So let's how about we go through some comments here and shout out
I was thinking we've got a nice audience. I see a lot of familiar faces and names here. So what do we got?
Let's do it. Starsky and Hutch. All right. So we have Dima Mararu with Guru Energy. Hello, CPG World. I just used his tumbler last week, along with 4 other tumblers for a golf tournament. It was like 98, dude. It was brutal. Yeah, 4 tumble. I drank two Rich Insight tumblers, 1 Guru, 1 Rind, plus Neotine, a collagen electrolyte powder as well. I had probably 160 ounces of water. It was nuts.
Wow.
All right. And then also, I just want to reinforce that David is sending a free signed copy of his book and his email. I want to post it up here. I think you said David. It was David D. Meltzer at I got to get this. I have his email in my box. I'm going to pull it up right now.
Well, I was
He
going to
said
say,
it.
if you go to the website, I'll put the link here. It's you can go right to the website and fill out to get the book. Let me get you here.
I found his email. So it's david@dmeltzer.com, and I'm going to post it here in the comments. And there's also the link that Wade put for the website. But yeah, I mean, that's freaking huge. You get a book signed, all the knowledge, and then if you're a CPG brand, reach out to him. I mean, he helps brands. He'll meet with you. Like, I went to SoFi Stadium, beautiful view, like in one of the sky boxes where he has these really cool powwows and meetings, and there's a bunch of brands there, and he just came in and started talking with everyone and gave his time for a couple hours. He's really a giving human being. So yeah, so get to know him, reach out to him by LinkedIn or email or website, and you'll be surprised. He'll take a meeting with you. He'll take a meeting. So he's of service.
That's awesome.
And we have another comment. Welcome to Quebec, Rich. All right. Rich Monez, there he is. We have Nick Westby. What's up, brother? Hey, everybody. Hope all is well. It's been a while. Jay Allridge, awesome show. Happy Friday. We have David Delcourt. I love what he said. Love the idea that you ask the hardest questions till a Thanksgiving dinner with your investors' family when things are tough. Just jumped on. Hi, everyone. This is Allison C. Tall Garden, what's up? I know you're doing demos nonstop in stores. We see that awesome energy on LinkedIn. It's cool. Puck Puck. Yeah, very cool. He was on the 2-minute drill with me this week. I was on the 2-minute drill, David Meltzer show, and we were competing for a prize with a pitch. And Puck was one of the guys on. So good to see you and good meeting you. A couple more and one more. Wade, this is from Nick Westby. You'll be seeing more of my face on your eggshelves come October.
So not too far away. It'll come fast. Looking forward to it.
So his face must be on the packaging. That's what I'm getting from this. All right. Very cool. All right. So, by the way, our sponsor, right? We're going to be giving that out in about 20, 25 minutes. This is a sponsor that swooped in today to grab it, is Nowhere Bakery. They're giving away their summer sampler pack worth $70.
Wow.
Delicious cookie dough bars and chocolate chip cookies, but they are made with no refined sugar, handmade, no gluten. I've been to their facility. It's handmade. I mean, this is legit stuff. It's made in Costa Mesa, California. No dairy, no soy, paleo, tons of organic ingredients. We'll get into more details, but just that is, if it's not for us, it's worth sticking around for the prize. So
absolutely. That's fantastic. I love it. They swooped in.
They got it. So what else do you want to chat about here? And we can chat about the CPG world. I mean, I'm seeing, it's interesting, Tattooed Chef, right?
Yeah.
Them going under 230 million in top line revenue. So that's really tough. Also, you have the company that owns Cool House as well. They bought Cool House. I think it's called Perfect Day, right? You probably read that article. Perfect Day, that has a supply side business. They decided to open up a consumer packaged goods arm, and they started the company Brave Robot, right? The ice cream, which is in Sprouts. They acquired Cool House, and they just cut that entire division off, I think 2 weeks ago, and laid off 130 employees. So we bring this up not to be, a downer, right, or negative, but it's just this is what's going on in the industry. Survival of the fittest. It's like Jurassic Park. You got to survive, and a lot of T-Rexes around.
So. Not getting any easier out there, Alex. It's not getting any easier. It's just, I think, we've been through some inflationary times, and there's been a little bit of a dry spell on the fundraising side. I mean, there's just a lot to maneuver around right now in the space. So I think it's good when you have someone like David on, and hearing some of the stories last week. We had Sydney on, and I thought she had a lot of great information. Some of the things she's dealt with, and I think the more you can absorb and learn and rely on the community. I mean, there's so much knowledge and so many people out willing to share. and it doesn't always cost something. I think, right now that's what a lot of people in the space need.
Yeah, I think that to me is one of the top qualities of an entrepreneur in general, especially a CPG entrepreneur, is listening and soaking it in and really learning as you go, right? Because it's hard to just learn everything in advance. You learn through experience and through the ups and the downs and the mistakes. And I think, the most successful entrepreneurs are always asking questions, always wondering, always reaching out to people. What do I do here? What do you recommend? What's your advice? The know-it-alls and the entrepreneurs that say, I got this, I know what I'm doing, I don't really need help, you're not going to get far. It's going to be hard. You might get maybe to $1 million in revenue or something. You might get some initial success, but coming from experience where I was pretty stubborn in the past with running Genius Juice and really learned from my own ways and errors. You got to listen to people, especially those that are advisors that have done this before. And, there's a reason that someone like an advisor or someone with experience gets paid $200 an hour, right? Or $300 an hour. It's because they've been in it for 20 years, 30 years, and they know things that you don't even know that you know, or you don't know you don't know what you don't know. And they know what they know from literally just pure experience and going through the ringer and learning from it. And I'm really happy that, I've had brands bring me on as a consultant, whether it's general business consulting, whether it's crowdfunding consulting. And I feel great about that. Not only, that I get to help people, but that there's entrepreneurs out there that are very open-minded and they want to learn and they want to better themselves and their business. And more than ever now, there's so many pitfalls. Like you can make one mistake, right, in production, one mistake in the wrong distribution partner, in the wrong retailer. And if you're not a big business and you have limited cash flow, it could end you. Like
right
within 6 months, you could be out of cash, out of business. And I've seen it happen before. So it's good to be very careful, diligent, and, ask people around you. Right.
Yeah. And I think, to me, it's, I think David alluded to it a little bit, but, making sure you're surrounding yourself with people that are going to ask the tough questions and shoot from the hip. If your board of advisors just says everything's great and, those rose colored glasses and everything, you're probably not being true to yourself and it's not going to be the way you want it to be. Right. I mean, you need someone to tell you when something's not right or something could be better or when you're doing something wrong. And I think, it's not an easy space to be in. There's no question about it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there was an entrepreneur today. I met him a month ago and I won't say what space he's in or anything like that, but he's in the CPG space. That's about as specific as I can get. And he's just launching, and he found some initial success, but then he ran out of money, right? Or he has very little money. And he sent an email that I didn't cry from the email, but I felt his emotion. And he said, I do not want to go back. Like I'm running out of money. I'm out of money. I can't produce more of this. It is selling. I don't know what to do. I don't have the knowledge base. I do not want to go back to my other job. I don't. Like I didn't have any freedom there. I didn't have any happiness. I didn't care if I was getting paid $100,000 a year. I was not happy. And that's a true entrepreneur, right? That's not happy in a 9-to-5, office job, right? So he copied 7 or 8 advisors. Some of them are on his team. Some of them are, not on his advisory team, but they've met like me recently. And today he had a Google meeting with like 8 people. And the premise of the meeting was, he's like, guys, I need help. And he was so vulnerable in a really good way, in a powerful way. I need help. I'm out of money. I don't know what to do. I have these new product line. And he was, you could feel the emotions for sure. And like, you could feel, because I've been there and other entrepreneurs have been there. When you ran your restaurant, you were there. How am I going to pay the next payroll? How am I going to just get by, right? Skim by with the cash flow. And so he just listened and asked a lot of questions and said, what can I do? And then all 8 people, there were CEOs on there for well-known brands in that meeting. I was really impressed that he knows all these people for him being very young in the CPG space. And he recorded it, right? Which was also smart. And he just got all this new info about what direction. At the end of this 1 hour call, he's like, I have an understanding now what direction I need to take, because I took it all in. I listened. I didn't act as a know-it-all. And I provided a lot of insight around raising online because he needs money. And I'm like, I can help you there. I mean, I can get you hopefully $50,000 to $100,000 to get you through the next half a year or a year. But at that kind of humility and vulnerability, to me, that's a true entrepreneur right there.
Yeah, I think when I think back, some of the best bosses, mentors that I've had in my career, one thing that they have in common is they will say up front that if you need help, raise your hand, right? And we can't read your mind if we don't know if you can go through the motion and act like you know everything, or you're fine where you're at, but if you really truly need help, you can't assume that others around you know that, or even if they're not around you, right? So that's the important thing, is raise your hand and ask for that help. And it sounds like this individual did that.
Yeah. And like I said before, I'll say it again. All it takes, you're one mistake away from being bankrupt in CPG, unless you're a big brand. And I've seen it time and time again. They come out with the wrong product line or whatever. So, and I always love the 80-20 rule. I'm sure you noticed this just on the shelf.
Yep.
20% of the products do 80% of the revenue. There's a reason why big brands usually stick to like 3 SKUs that just do everything. Vita Coco, their coconut water probably does 85%. Their original plain does probably 85% of their business. And that's why you see that more than anything else. And too many founders try to go into too many different innovations. That's just not pulling in enough revenue. So, yeah. So it's like less is more, but then you have the issue of you want to fill the shelf, right? And have shelf space. So it's, what would you say there?
It's one of those things that we talk about, though, with focusing on your core and building that core and supporting it, promoting it, demoing, sampling, all that stuff before you try and think about innovation, other categories, additional. You've got to build that base and your brand before you can just have I always think of put my conventional hat on. I always think about Frito-Lay, right? Because if you go into most conventional stores in the chip aisle, right, it's 75%, probably 65-75% Frito-Lay, that entire aisle. And they didn't get there overnight, right? I mean, it's now they're there, obviously, but you can't just get 65-75% of the space without doing, taking your lumps and building your brand, right? And we talk about that time and time again. It's very important. But that the 80-20 rule is very it's very true. And when you look at it, especially as you manage categories and overall business, as you look at the top performers, it's not a made up thing. It's real.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, what's interesting is our sponsor, which I'm trying to find. It's funny. I'm trying to get him on right now. Let me get his email. But he wants to come on and talk about Nowhere Bakery, and we're just going to bring him on. That's what we do with our sponsors. So, and there's the address. So we'll give him some time here to email us, or at least I get his email and we email him. We'll bring him on here. It's the most freaking just delicious everything, like delectable desserts that are guilt-free. I got to mention a couple other things, Wade, just kind of on the newsreel, right?
Yep.
I did finally catch up with Food Stars. I watched the latest episodes.
Okay.
Binged it. I watched like 6-7 episodes. So because we had Sydney Webb on last week, right, with Toto, the CEO of Toto, the functional cookie. And so she was voted off, right? Or Gordon
kicked off, whatever it is.
Kicked off, whatever.
Yeah. I don't think it's a vote. I think it's Gordon,
one vote.
Gordon makes the call. Yeah.
It's a one single vote. So yeah, I was trying to put it in a polite way. But she lasted several episodes, and I thought that the reason, for those that haven't watched, it's on Hulu, so you can go on Hulu, Food Stars, Gordon Ramsay, first season. It's a premiere season, and they're like 7 or 8 episodes in. I thought the reason was total bullshit to me. I mean, I thought that she got edged out by someone that took control, that had no idea what, she just didn't know what she was doing. This other person
Right.
in Sydney's group. And like Sydney was being collaborative, and they cut out a lot of stuff. I could tell like she wasn't contributing to it. And then like unfortunately it came down to like when there's a group, there's two groups, right? There's the blue team or red team or whatever.
Right.
So like the red team loses, okay, in this challenge. And then for anyone who's watching Gordon Ramsay show, it's the same structure. Then the red team, he interviewed each and every one of them. And the other girl was just like attacking Sydney and everyone else. And then Sydney's like, I just wanted to get us to win, but we worked collaboratively because we didn't want to, why fight, right? It's really
Right.
bad to fight. And I get Gordon's side to it. Like she could have stepped up a little more and stuck up for herself or whatever. But I felt like it was really unfair the way it played out, And again, I just really like her and her brand and who she is, an entrepreneur. So I'm sure I'm a little bit, like,
Biased.
not objective, biased.
Right. Right.
But I don't know. What did you think of that episode?
I had a lot of the same opinions as you, and I guess for me, excuse me, I think there's so much that you don't see, so it's really hard to see, to gauge what really happened, because you're only seeing, and that's true with any reality show. You're only seeing what the producers want you to see, as far as telling the story. So I think there's probably some more there, but I pretty much echo what you said. It's and I probably am not as I'm a little biased myself with Sydney, so it's probably not, I'm not probably not the best judge as far as it goes, but
yeah, I don't think either.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how who ends up winning. I think I'm in. I saw Sydney's episode last week, but I didn't see this week's episode, so I have to get caught up. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not the same. I mean, I had more motivation to watch, but it's still a great show, and the latest episode, they were battling through coffee shops. It was really cool. They were in Seattle. And so one ran one coffee shop, one ran another. They came up with the branding, the name, the decor, the language, when you come in, how they greet you. And it's a great show. I actually like it better than MasterChef. MasterChef is just he's too in their face. It's too stressful to me.
Right. Well, I think, for me, I'm just a big Gordon Ramsay fan. I mean, when you look at Hell's Kitchen and, some of his earlier stuff in England that he did before he became big over here. I can't watch a lot of the cooking shows because I have PTSD with restaurants as far as that goes.
Right.
So I kid. I do like to watch it, but sometimes it hits a little close to home as far as some of it goes. But it's entertaining. I do like this one though. This one, there's a lot. Whether it's directly CPG or being an entrepreneur, there's a lot of correlation with that's pretty applicable, I think. So it's good.
Yep. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, for sure. I agree 100%. So, and it's cool. The first episode was filmed in Palos Verdes.
Right. So, yeah, I think there's quite a bit of stuff around your general area that they did, right? I mean, as far as some of the stuff, I think they did some stuff by the beach and some different things. So.
Yep, exactly. Cool. Well, let's go into the stuff we love next, and then hopefully Maurizio here will be coming on. We're texting back and forth. This is really testing my, my multitasking.
Your ability to multitask, right?
So let's go into stuff we love. I'll quickly knock mine out. So I guess he's not coming on. He says Safari doesn't support it. Well, okay, we'll represent you, brother. We'll talk about you. So this is and I picked it up from their facility. Yes, I get it wholesale, baby. So the cookie dough bar.
Nice.
Almond butter, organic maple syrup, organic unrefined coconut oil, organic coconut flour, organic chocolate chips, vanilla extract. That's it.
Boom. That's it. Well, I don't have mine in front of me, but I'm going to put a link up so you can see what I'm talking about. But I've taken a liking to this stuff. It's called Alfresco. It's chicken bacon, and turkey bacon, pork bacon, whatever. I don't know. It's just something I have been hooked on lately. So it's healthy. I think too healthy as far as bacon goes, right? I think 2 strips are maybe 35 calories, maybe 70. I don't know, somewhere around there. So I know it doesn't necessarily fit your diet, Alex, but I enjoy it. So
very cool. And let's go back to it one more time. I took it off by mistake. This is the Alfred's
Alfresco chicken. Yeah,
okay.
Just been my thing lately. It's good stuff.
Chicken bacon. Well, that's America right there. Just that's America and a link.
Well, it doesn't get much more American than bacon, right? We'll make bacon out of anything. So,
exactly. There's a really good, I can't remember the name of the product. It's Madly Hadley. Did you ever meet her?
I have not. I know what you're talking about, but I have not.
Yeah, I think she is in San Diego or somewhere close to it. And she came out with a vegan, because now I'm turning it back to my side of the table, right? The vegan, vegetarian side. A vegan bacon that tastes really damn good. I know we've had other vegan bacons we've talked about.
Right.
This one is just legitimate.
Coconut, right?
Yeah, it's made out of coconut, like bits, and then she just, or coconut meat, basically, and seasons it just like bacon, and it has the smell of bacon. Does obviously different texture, but pretty damn good if you're a bacon lover and you want to also get the good fats and nutrition from coconut. So check it out. It's at Whole Foods, at least in SoCal. It's called Madly Hadley, just like how it sounds. I want to mention one more thing here before we go to our next segment, which is obviously going to be giving away a prize for our sponsor. Make sure to watch the Open if you like golf at all. The Open is on right now. It's a major. It sucks, though. I wouldn't say it sucks. It's just inconvenient that it's, you have to watch it here in the States in the middle of the night live. So DVR it, if you don't want to wake up everyone in your house and be blasting the TV in the living room like what I'm doing. But from 10 o'clock to 8, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., they're airing the Open. And right now, I think his name is Brian Harmon is in the lead, and there's a bunch of other guys right behind him. So there we go. Make sure to check that out. That's the current events section of our podcast.
There you go.
Cool. All right. So next segment is Friday Freebies.
Friday Freebies.
Okay, so I guess I'll because we can't bring on Mauricio here, we're just gonna have to represent channel his energy. So these are just really damn good dessert style bars and also cookies that have all vegan ingredients, no dairy, no soy, paleo, no refined sugar. They're handmade. We'll talk about V-driven too. No gluten, plant-based. It's called Nowhere Bakery. There it is, nowherebakery.com. There's a story on the back of the two co-founders, Safira and Maurizio. They are a married couple, and they also just had a kid about 2 months ago. So I remember seeing his wife, him and his wife at Expo. You met them at Expo West, at the booth at the bowling alley.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's them, and they're going to be giving away a summer sampler pack. And I was hoping to get them on because I don't know what is in it exactly, but there's going to be an assortment of cookies, brownies, chocolate covered cookies it's basically cacao and chocolate, just really, really healthy. Blondie bars, you name it, but I
can help you with what's in it because I found it on the website.
Okay, tell me.
So I'm not sure if it's a 6-pack or the 12-pack. The 12-pack,
it's a 6-pack. That's what they're giving away.
6-pack is $36. The 12-pack is $68 on their website.
Yeah.
So the 6-pack has 1 chocolate chip, 1 double chocolate, 1 candy bar, 1 breakfast cookie, 1 brownie, and 1 blondie. And then basically, if it's a 12-pack, it's just double of all those. So yeah, if you're made with organic ingredients, gluten-free, all that good stuff. And Alex, you've had the product, so you can speak to it, right?
It's scarily addictive, but also a guiltless snack. It's really good. Really, really good. My favorite is the blondie. Also, their top seller is the chocolate chip cookie. It's like a healthy version of, Mrs. Fields, basically. That's the way that I would really look at it. So the question, we got to talk about V-driven, don't we? So why don't you tackle that one?
V-Driven. I will. I was going to pull up the website. So yeah, that's our friend Luke Abbott and V-Driven. And I don't have my blurbs up in front of me, Alex. I think you rattled this off at the top of your head. But let me get over to there's CPG partner for emerging purpose-driven brands. They fuel growth and innovation by providing strategies and support in every phase of the retail journey, from leadership coaching, brand management, accounting, sales strategy, day-to-day tactical support. They can be the end-to-end solution for the brand's business needs. Their leadership team has decades of real-life experience, all key areas of the business, and know what it takes to help brands succeed. That's vdriven.com. Luke.Abbott, that's ABBOTT at vdriven.com. So
Cool.
Great partners. And, it's kind of like a la carte menu, right? If you need operational support, they can do that. If you need deduction support, they can do that. If you need sales support, they can do that. So you can pick and choose what you need. They'll help you through it all. Good folks.
Absolutely. I think there's more discussion, instead of our sponsors, Nowhere Bakery and Be Driven, there's more discussion about your hair or lack thereof and
That's
the bar
right.
and the barber and my hair, which is heading in your direction.
Right.
So David Delcourt, Wade Yenny, your barber is 100%.
Yep.
Nick, Wade has hair. And then David Delcourt, Wade and Alex, where do you get your haircut? You're both looking smooth and sleek. Well,
That's right.
Chalk it up to great nutrition and vitamins. It takes work to get this and to get that over there.
Exactly. Bald and beautiful.
Bald and beautiful. And balding and semi-beautiful over here. Ruggedly handsome. So, question, right? Do you have one? Do you have one in the arsenal?
I have one, but I think it's relatively easy, but that's okay because we're on time. I don't know. Do we want an easy one? Or do we want to make it hard?
I think making it a little easier is cool because we're running up on time.
All right, so we've got to watch this because we know how this goes as far as what we see and what actually whoever answers first. So what I want to know is our guest this week was David Meltzer. What he at one time was, I believe, the CEO, if I'm not mistaken, of a sports agency, right? And there's a famous movie that was made about that. I want to know what the name of that movie was and who one of the leading actors was in that movie.
Actors or just actor?
Well, there's two.
There's two. So you have to say both.
You want both?
Yeah, because the question is easy-ish, so they got to really come through with also the actors.
Okay, so two actors that were in the movie, two leading actors, and the name of the movie. So while we're waiting for that, what are you doing this weekend, Alex?
Let's see. Tomorrow is like really a day. There it is. Well, it's both actors. Dima.
Need one more actor, Dima.
He's going to give an assist to someone else. They're just going to copy and paste him. Terry McWhorr. Mitch Bernstein, close. No cigar, but Dima got at least the first part. TC. Well, I don't know where that came from.
Well, it's Tom Cruise.
Oh, okay. That's what. So that's funny. So that makes sense. Other one. Who's the other one?
Actor.
Okay. And then I think Dima got it. Renee.
Yeah, we'll give it to him.
It's hard to spell her last name. And, nor does anyone want to go through that keyboard of pain of trying to spell it. So Dima, you are a guru. You're a guru of getting the right answer. So make sure to email cpgvibes100@gmail.com. And you can redeem your prize, which is a 6-pack of the summer sampler from Nowhere Bakery. And if you're in Orange County, go to any coffee shop in Orange County. You will see their product there. They're really starting local. And then they're also, I think they're working on Jimbos or getting in Jimbos or something happening there. So it's pretty cool.
Exciting.
So as far as this weekend, it's really tomorrow's a day for my wife. Like she's been giving me the last 3 Saturdays for golf or at an event, marketing or meetings. And so tomorrow I'm just like, you do what you want to do. She told me I'm going to do what I want to do. And I said, good.
Yes,
go out, do
That's
it.
right.
Go to a spa day, mani-pedi, whatever. Go for a hike, get some exercise, whatever you want to do. And I'll be at home with the baby. I'll take care of Aaron, no problem. And yeah. And then and I'll just be watching the Open. Right.
Nice.
And my son will be watching as well. He likes the green colors on the screen. So that's him. And then Sunday visiting family. And that is it. How about you?
Excellent. Well, my sister-in-law, actually, I'm glad we're up on time because my sister-in-law just got here from Ohio. So
Nice.
she's visiting for the weekend. So we're going to be showing her some of the surroundings around us. And that's probably about it for us.
Cool. All right. So I'll have a wonderful time with your family, and cool. And also it's funny. I didn't mention this. My sister's in town from San Francisco.
Nice.
Just, great co-host, spend the weekend alike. I just made that up.
Right.
So you have your family, your sister, right, in town, and my sister's in town, and we'll be hanging out as well. So,
and I was going to plug our guest next week real quickly. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong. It's Noah with
Ruby
Hibiscus. That's right.
Yep.
Excellent. Yeah. So tune in next week. He's got a great story and a great product. So should be a good show.
Yep, absolutely. And after that, we have Hank Watts. And then we have, again, part of our goal here was bringing in more female guests. There's been a lot of requests for that. We've really worked hard to find dynamic female guests, entrepreneurs from LinkedIn, and connecting with them. So we have Michelle Rosavi. She's going to be joining us. And then we also have Dixie Jackson of Dixie Grace's Boiled Peanuts. I don't know if you've ever been in the boiled peanuts before, but they're like America's best kept secret.
I was going to say, I know of them. I can't say that I've partaken, but maybe I will before the show.
Yeah, when they're boiled, it brings out this whole different flavor, and then she boils it in spices and seasonings, and
nice.
It's like a whole different world of what a peanut is. It's pretty amazing. It's like cooking carrots. The carrots just taste way better than when they're raw.
Excellent.
And then we have also Jennifer Stojovic. I can't pronounce her name, but she's going to be on August 4th. So yeah, so we got a lot of cool guests coming up. Again, cpgvibes100@gmail.com for sponsorships, or if you want to be a guest. And make sure to subscribe to our podcast. And one last thing, Wade, I'll mention is also our LinkedIn page.
Yep.
LinkedIn page. Go on there. Make sure to follow on our LinkedIn page, because you'll see recaps and videos. If you miss an episode, you'll see a recap of those episodes with guests. And I think that about covers it right there.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Wade, love you, buddy. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. I will attempt to do the same. And we'll see you next week, Friday, same time, 2:30 p.m. Pacific, 5:30 Eastern.
Love you, buddy.
Take care, everyone.